Today I want to talk about shoes, specifically barefoot shoes. And we have a big pile of shoes to show you today, but I want to say that this is not a sponsored post. This is something that we bought all these shoes ourselves. These are shoes that we use in our family, and so we're not getting paid for this, but I just wanted to show you some of these things and maybe why you should dare to be bare. So I'm going to start with Wildlings. These are my husband's shoes. These are great shoes. Of all the minimalist shoes, barefoot shoes, I think I like these the best because they are in fact the most barefoot. But the drawback of these shoes is that they're not particularly durable, so they're really for city use. A little bit more challenging for hiking or more rugged, or especially outdoor or rain. They're thin canvas, you can see. This sole is, cut through here. It's stitched. They have improved their design over time. It used to not be stitched, and the sole would kind of peel off really quickly. But this is quite an improvement. So these shoes, nice and flexible. You can roll them up. They're great for travel, great for storage. They're, like I said, these are probably some of the most barefoot of the barefoot shoes. So I do really like these, but that's the drawback. It's just that they're not particularly durable. They're more for city use and dry, not very good in the rain. The next shoe that I'm going to talk about is the Vivo Barefoot. This is a little bit more durable, so it's still quite flexible, not quite as flexible. So you can see it's a little bit stiffer, a little bit harder to roll up. It's got a little bit of a stiffer heel cup, but better in the rain, a little more durable. And it's got pretty good. It's got a little bit better tread, so if that's something that's important to you. I find that even some of the other shoes that have less tread are still pretty sticky, so this wasn't necessarily an attraction to me. They are a little bit stiffer, so if you have a foot that doesn't conform to their shoe shape, it's not as good. But I do know people that like these and wear them all the time.
Can I give you that?
Yeah, can you give me this red one right here? This is a Zero shoe. This is another real lightweight. The tread is a little less substantial on this one, but still nice and sticky. Again, this one rolls up really nicely. So this is more in line with the Wildlings in terms of its amount of structure, but a little bit more durable. Let's see here. Next, I want to talk about the Merrells. These are my personal favorite. Hi. So these are my kids. You can see that they're also, I don't know if their shoes are in the thing, but I'm going to lift up a foot here. Let's talk about these shoes next. These are also, can I take your shoe off? Thank you. We're going to borrow this shoe. Here, you can put your foot right there. So this is a kid's version. And let's see here. Saguaro. So these are actually from Amazon. These are kind of, not very expensive shoes. We got these as kind of a backup. I'm going to show you some other shoes that we got for them next, but these are really nice and flexible, and we got these specifically because we wanted something that was just slightly more durable for hiking than the other shoes that we have for them. So these are pretty good. They're just a little bit more structure in the heel, but potentially good for hiking and like hitting some of those sharper rocks, but they still give you the flexibility that you need, and good for a kid's foot. Also come in at a little bit of a lower price point, although we're not big fans of shopping on Amazon. So if you're not either, we support that. And, there are other options out there, and I will show you one in just a minute. All right.
I want to hand you one.
You want to hand me one? Okay. Can you come around on the other side and hand me this one right here?
I want.
Up next, I'm going to talk about the Merrell. This is my personal favorite, and it is pretty good in terms of durability. I wore a pair of these, not this exact shoe, obviously, but a slightly different version of this shoe for, I don't know, I probably put about 500 miles on it hiking, easily 500 miles hiking, and I wore it till it just was totally worn out. And I really, really like these shoes. They're very minimal. They have just enough foot coverage and protection. They've got this nice amount of flexibility to them. The rubber comes up just a little bit, so if you do step in a little bit of water, it protects your foot from getting wet. So that kind of coverage up the side is kind of nice for this shoe. And this one also has the Vivo, just to mention this little bit of extra coverage, so that if you are out in the rain, hiking or whatever, your foot can tolerate a little bit of wet. Oh. All right. This is the Nike Metcon. The Nike Metcon is kind of deceptive. It sort of looks like a barefoot shoe. It's real minimal on the top, real squishy, but when you start to really check it out, you see that it's got a pretty stiff heel cup. Like, I cannot squish that heel cup. It is not a zero drop. So it's got a little bit of lift to it. I don't know how much, but a bit. And I cannot squish this shoe. It's got movement in the toe, but I cannot roll this shoe up, and I can give it some twist. So this is kind of a medium stability shoe. It's got this stabilizer thing that comes up on the side. I know all these have technical names, but they are not. This is a kind of medium stability shoe. This is definitely not a barefoot shoe, but it kind of looks like a barefoot shoe. So it's a bit deceptive in terms of your shoe shopping. You think, oh, this looks like a minimal shoe, especially since how it's so squishy up here, but it's really not. So if you need something with a little more stability, this is a nice option. But if you're going for barefoot, this is not barefoot. All right. This is a splay. So these are what my kids wear most of the time. And again, it has that rubber that comes up just a little bit. It is canvas. These are nice and flexible. So you've got this nice roll up here. You've got some nice twist here. So lots of flexibility, really soft and comfortable. These shoes we have found, we wear them, they wear them to school and they wear them around town. They have done some hiking in these. There are adult versions of this shoe also, as well as the Amazon shoe that I mentioned earlier, the Saguaro. This shoe also, there are some adult versions of this as well. So, another pair of shoes being handed to me shortly are the Lems. So these are Lems. Lems are nice and low stability, definitely a barefoot shoe. So they've got nice roll up here, they've got nice twist here. This version of the Lems has a little bit of a firmer upper, so this is a little bit more protective. So these are, they appear to be a little bit thicker, but they're actually mesh, so they're really quite a cool, breathable shoe, which is nice. They have just a little bit more durability to the bottom of them, so maybe a little bit better for a winter shoe other than the mesh, which would make it cold. But, in terms of rain durability, a little bit more durable than, say, the Wildlings. So just to review, we've got the splay, both kid and adult versions, nice and soft. We've got the Metcons, which are CrossFit or weight training shoe. Look like they're kind of barefoot, but they are not. This is more of a medium stability shoe. We have the Zeros, which are nice and soft, a little bit more durable, have really nice flexibility. The Vivo Barefoot, again, a little bit more of a firmer sole, a little bit harder, not quite as flexible as some of the others, but has a little bit more rain protection. It is mesh up here, so isn't necessarily hot, but has a little bit more durability maybe for winter wear. I would also say that this is the shoe shape of this is a little bit less flexible width-wise. So even though it has a wide toe box and is a nice wide shoe, if your foot doesn't fit well in here, it's not a very comfortable shoe. But I do know people that really like these, so they're worth investigating. The Merrells, which are my personal favorite, nice and flexible, very light, pretty durable. I've, like I said, put a lot of miles on these and have really enjoyed this shoe. The Wildling, really nice and flexible, very nice and soft and wide, however a little bit less on the durable side. They're improving the design on this with stitching, so that is helping with the durability, but is something that's a little bit more of a summer shoe and definitely something that's more for city wear and not so much for hiking. And the Lems are, again, nice and soft and flexible, but with a little bit more structure. This is nice because they have a kind of a nicer look to them, but they're still, the mesh lets a lot of airflow. So if you're somebody who has sweaty feet, these are a nice option to keep your feet nice and cool. So that is barefoot shoes that we have in our household. And I hope that helps you make some decisions in your choices of barefoot shoes. That is our shoe roundup. All of these shoes are available in our store at rosebt.com. These are shoes that we personally own in our family and enjoy for a variety of reasons. They all have pros and cons about them. I hope that this roundup has been helpful for you in your shoe buying decision. All of these shoes are available in our store at rosebt.com.